London heavyweight titans Joe Joyce and Derek Chisora will headline at the O2 on Saturday the 27th of July. Both fighters are striving to return to the top end of the world heavyweight division that is currently dominating fight sports. It's the juggernaut confronted by war in a contest you won't want to miss. Joyce versus Chisora at the O2 on Saturday the 27th of July. Get your tickets today at axs.com.
How do you feel great on vacation? Like really good? Easy. You go to Aruba. You'll spend your time relaxing on cool white sand beaches and floating in healing blue water. You'll immerse yourself in natural wonder and find your center on an island where things move at your speed. You won't just feel great, you'll feel relaxed, renewed, and ready for life. That's the Aruba effect. Plan your trip at aruba.com.
Jewelry can say many things on your wedding day. As a wedding band, it can say, "This is a forever symbol of our forever love." As a gift to your wedding party, it can say, "Thanks for standing up there with us." Blue Nile can help you find the piece that says it all and says it beautifully, with expert guidance and a wide assortment of jewelry of the highest quality at the best price. Go to BlueNile.com and experience the convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com.
Hello, I'm your host, Les Bubka. Welcome to Anxious Black Belt, a podcast that focuses on karate, mental health, and everything in between. If you enjoy our content and would like to support us, best way to do that is to listen to another episode, share it with your friends, and leave us a review. All this stuff helps the mysterious algorithm to introduce our podcast to new audience. Thank you for joining me, and let's listen to the episode. Welcome back. Today I meant to have a guest. Unfortunately, the guest fell ill and we had to postpone our conversation for next week. So I thought I'm going to take the opportunity today to share my thoughts on progression. I done a short clip yesterday on the progression on YouTube. If you would like to have a look on that, check out my Morning Karate Thought playlist. We've done already 54 episodes. And yeah, I shared my little thoughts there. But here I would like to have maybe a little bit deeper conversation about this subject, because I think we all going through a phase of problems with progression. So for me, I've always been struggling to see my progression in martial arts. I am my worst enemy. I always put myself down. I always criticize myself the worst. I'm having a struggles, or I used to have a struggles with believing people that they've been saying the truth. So if somebody said that I jumped with my techniques, I would kind of guess that they are just being nice to me and they don't want to upset me and I am rubbish. And to the degree I'm still fighting with it now and comparing myself to other people online and my friends who are doing stuff. It's like a little bit of a jealousy and imposter syndrome creeping in. But let's start with example. So we had a student coming into our dojo about 8 months ago, never had a experience with martial arts, never done anything, generally not a very sporty person. So he was out of his place as much as you can be, all strange movements, couldn't do coordination. Sparrings, we had no problem getting him, and he was just kind of helpless. Fast forward 8 months, and now kind of we all have to in a club start thinking how to trick him to get to his head, to land some shots, and in general get into him, because we've been listening. Although he always says he's a slow learner, I disagree with it. He picked up really quickly the basics. So he's using his most advantageous weapons. He is very tall and he is a left-handed person. So using the right jab and going into the angles that are very uncomfortable for those who are right-handed start paying off now. And is really good with that jab and cross. His reach for me is very annoying because his arms are longer than my legs. So getting into some is very, very difficult. And now I have to think a plan to bypass his defenses and to get him, which is great to see from a point of view of a teacher. Very rewarding from a point of view of teacher, but highly annoying from the fighter's point of view because he's starting to do a good job. And recently he started to put more combinations, so he's using more knees, more kicks, and he's getting a bit more all-rounded. He's starting to see the gaps and where he can use the situation to his advantage. He started grabbing now, and maybe soon he's going to start throwing. But the problem is that he doesn't see it. So he keeps saying, "Oh, Les, I'm really sorry. I am a very slow learner. If you have patience to me, one day I'm gonna get it." And I get him. I get him. I've been the same. I thought I'm the thickest in the club, which maybe was true. Maybe it's true in some case that he is not as fast in learning as others. But to say that he doesn't make any progression would be a lie, because the initial walk into the dojo and what he's doing now shows completely different. So I do like to record videos from time to time to just see how people have improved and what jumps they do, because it is very difficult for a student in his mind to assess. They do in trainings, most of the trainings look the same, and they don't really see their progression. They don't see how much their body is more coordinated, how much their brain can put things together and execute them. So it's kind of very difficult to assess on your own. And just having a verbal confirmation, oh, you're doing so much better, it's kind of sometimes not convincing enough. Like I said, for me, it was that I thought that people just being nice to me. Till the years later, I've realized that yeah, actually I done a huge jump, and I'm much better than I was before. But we start talking more deeper into it with some, and I said you have to get used to it that you're gonna have a plateaus. All martial arts are not linear growth. It's going up, then stops, sometimes drops down because of injuries or other things that we kind of lose the abilities and then we have to rebuild them. But what is very interesting for me, that usually after the plateau or a deep down, it's a massive jump. I've seen that many, many times with students that they've been going, oh, I can't do anything, I can't be bothered. I'm tired of trainings. I don't do any progression. It doesn't go the way I want. Really discouraging. And then suddenly, next day, they're coming, everything set in the brain, fell in the right places, been put in the right boxes, clicks together, and they come and they're different person, technically or mentally or physically. They just got that breakthroughs. So if you are on that plateau, just stay there, keep training, relax, and then you're gonna have that jump. For me, always those jumps happened after a break. So in our club back in Poland, we always had a 2 weeks break in the winter and 2 months break from training in the summer. So you can kind of regenerate, fix your body, get rid of all the injuries, have a mental break, develop the hunger again for the martial arts, come back fresh. And always after that long break, there was a huge jump in the right direction. So, like I said, karate learning, and I think any learning really, is not linear. It's not constant. You're not going just up. It's going up and downs, sharp increase on the beginning, bit less in the middle, and then when everything clicks in, you've got another sharp jump towards the black belt and up. When your confidence growing and then you see your progression, you look back on those grades and you see, yes, I've achieved so much. And there's that proportion. And then after the first done, there is again a little bit of monotony and lots of grafting, and then you get another jump a bit later on. But it's of course a bit best analogy is like climbing the mountains, right? If you go into mountain ranges, you're going from the small bumps to climbing a bit more difficult terrain. Then you might go in a dip and then climb again and dip again and climb again. Maybe you went up and you have to return a little bit. Sometimes, it is that you think you're going right direction and then realize that this is not what you wanted to do. So you have to redirect and stuff like that. So it's just like life, right? You need to go and push forward, and sometimes you're successful, sometimes not. Sometimes that plateau hits very early, and lots of people get discouraged and quit. And this is kind of a two mentalities people. So I've seen that many times especially in sporting, in wrestling. You had people who've been super talented and they had an impressive and massive jump on the beginning. They've been ahead of everybody because everything was going easy for them. And you had those people who've been grafting and really growing techniques, physical aspects, flexibility. They couldn't get it. The growth was very, very slow. But when it went up into kind of a medium level, those who've been very gifted, when things were really, really hard, they give up and go away. On the other hand, those who grafted on the beginning, they stick to it, put more work into it, and becoming the successful people. So sometimes being talented and learn very quickly doesn't mean you're gonna achieve your goals. There's lots of people, successful people who've got both of those qualities, but on a kind of lower level of a hobbyist, there is a huge difference between those who've got talent and those who have a hard work. It's kind of changing on a higher level because you've got both of those people's combinations. They usually are the most successful. So those who've got a talent and discipline to push through the difficulties, push through the struggles, and reach for the goals they set up. I've been a hard grafter. I had no talent on the beginning. I don't think. I think the skills that I've got been hard earned, and maybe later it was a little bit easier because my mind catch up with the physical skills and I can put all the information together and make it easier. But I wouldn't say that I am a talented karateka. As I always said, I am a good thief. I can see things and I can take it in, convert to mine, and build upon that. But as conversation with Sam, it was kind of a difficult to convince him that he actually done a progression. And I think I'm gonna have to record stuff again and show him physical evidence and footage that yes, you jumped a lot within that 8 months. And different people learn differently. Some people prefer to feel like I. For me, the best way to teach me a technique is to show me so I feel how it works, how I land, how it's executed, where the pain is, which angle, and so on comes towards me. Other people like to watch more. The others don't understand if you don't explain verbally. So, the mixture of those teaching methods are always good. But in terms of talent, hard work beats talent. I think that's the very old saying, and it holds the true in relation to martial arts. So I would love to know how you dealing with that. Did you get the plateaus? How did you dealt with the plateaus? Did you have any dips that you thought, oh, I'm getting actually worse? And how did you dealt with it? How do you helping your students? That would be exciting to learn as well, so I can learn some from you. and maybe get some new angles on approaching that topic, because I think we all, as teachers, have students who struggle with that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, and would be nice to know the different ways of helping them overcome that and becoming a successful people, and how to incorporate the discipline into people. I know that children resist that, but they crave that in the same time. My guys, if they don't have a discipline, they go haywire. And when they've got a discipline, then they complain that we are too harsh on them and it's unfair. That is so unfair. But those who got the children can imagine now, because I think we all went through it. But they need that discipline. But how to make it in the sports and put all together? So spot the talent and install discipline. If you got any ideas, please feel free to share with me, email, comments, or reach out through social media, and I would love to listen to your opinion. I hope that this one was somewhat interesting. Next week, I've got 2 really interesting interviews, so I'll be posting that soon. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support. And if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best until the next one.
Sports Social Podcast Network.